Hello everyone, how's it going? And I'm back with another movie review again, another 2023 review, another movie I'm late with, although that movie was very much requested by a good friend of mine who really wanted me to watch this movie and review it. And to all my both friends and viewers, your wish is my command. So, after my friend begged me to watch the movie Rustin, I decided to give the movie a watch, because this movie is apparently about a civil rights activist, Bayard Rustin, who marched on Washington DC. And fun fact, I didn't know anything about him. Like, I lived in the United States for 8 years, as you probably know if you're watching me often, 3 years in Rhode Island, 5 in Vermont, but I literally knew nothing about Bayard Rustin. I knew a lot about Martin Luther King Jr., obviously, but I knew nothing about Bayard Rustin, and from what I'm doing the research I made, it seems like a lot of people don't know about him, because what I'm reading about this movie is this is the first time Bayard Rustin is actually getting a credit for his participation in the civil rights movement, which I think making a movie about him was a pretty good idea. After all, he also played a huge part in the Civil Rights Act being passed, so it's a shame that he never got so much credit, but oh well, better late than never. So, and what did I think about the movie itself, actually? I thought it was quite good. It's not something I'm likely going to rewatch, at least not anytime soon, but I'm glad I watched it, and I'm glad I learned some new information that I didn't know before. But first, one of my negatives with the movie. I really feel the movie, the way it was directed, it almost feels like they assumed you already know who Rustin is, and kind of like basically started right away from him fighting for justice, equal rights, and planning his march on Washington. And I think, and I do mention some of his childhood and all, but I think it would be more helpful if they actually showed glimpses of his childhood and teenage years. That way it will be a better way to establish his life experiences and also give us more information about who he actually is. Because as I said, before this movie came out and my friend asked me to watch it, I didn't know anything about Bayard Rustin. However, other than that, I'm really glad that I watched this movie because, as I said, I learned something that I didn't know before. And I also like the use of various music that blacks invented in the American history, like blues, gospel, jazz. I really thought that usage was really good, and I'm also really glad that this movie didn't go on a black and white route, evil, bad. No, it actually quite showed that people should be judged as individuals and not part of certain groups. I'm really happy that's the route this movie went, and also glad that Christian faith actually was shown a lot in this movie, because modern Hollywood loves to remove Christian faith from a lot of movies where it played part. Like, look at the biography of J.R.R. Tolkien movie. The Christian faith was completely removed from the movie, despite the fact that it played a gigantic role in Tolkien's life. But not in this movie, because the Christian faith actually played a huge part in the life of black people during the civil rights movement. And I'm really happy that the movie did not remove it, quite the opposite. It also was very much explored in the movie, so I'm happy about that. And I'm also really glad that the movie is not particularly negative, quite the opposite. It shows that a fight for justice, like it was in the case for Bayard Rustin, can actually also have lots of positives, because there's plenty of humor in this movie, and I really like that it shows that a journey of Bayard Rustin to fight injustice with justice also showed that there were actually plenty of positives, as he had lots of love of his friends, family, and lots of new experiences. So I really like that this movie actually showed that I also feel lots of movies about justice shy away from. That sometimes fight for justice can actually be a very positive journey, full of interesting and positive experiences, even if the fight itself is hard. And then the final scene of the movie is actually the march on Washington DC and Martin Luther King's Jr. speech, "I Have a Dream," which was actually my favorite scene in the whole movie. This speech was so moving, so captivating, and so accurate to what actually was. I in general love that speech, and I think that this movie wonderfully portrayed it. And the final thing I'll talk about the movie, and that's kind of both positive and negative, I think Coleman Domingo is wonderful in the role of Rustin. That said, most of the cast, I have to be honest, most of them were pretty cheesy. Like, yeah, it's like Coleman Domingo and the guy who played Martin Luther King Jr., those two I think are the only ones who made a phenomenal performance, but the rest of the cast was like, meh. But overall, I'm really glad I watched Rustin, and I think the movie was educational and it taught me something new about history that I didn't know before, so I'm really glad I watched it, even though I probably won't watch this movie again. But thank you guys for checking out this video. Press the like button. Please subscribe to this channel. And again, this is probably the last movie of 2023 I'm reviewing. Although I am planning to watch Maestro, so I might review that too. But overall, this is likely one of the very last movies of 2023 that I'm reviewing. And again, press the like button. Please subscribe to this channel. And I will talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you soon. Bye.